Well, it's a good start when you watch the announcement for the night's stream. But here we go. Good evening. I'm Know Nothing Attorney. I know nothing, so you can too. Because it's only in embracing that we know nothing that we can actually learn anything. That's what we're here to do every single day. Now, what's up, Aliana? I'm not feeling so hot tonight, so I'm probably going to keep it on the shorter end of stream. If I can even keep it up that long, we'll see how I'm feeling. But I think I'm going to need to give myself a break tonight. What's up? Not a lot. I got home from work and just crashed today. I think it was a bit of a stressful, sleepless weekend. And then after like doing that and then coming right back to work on a Monday feels weird. So Greg Bovino lost his job. Want to look into that. Give me a second to pull it up here. This is not where I want to be. Just as expected, it's the very first thing on the law subreddit. That's not where I want to be. Whoops. I can't get my stuff together tonight, man. Whew. Alright, so first thing at the top is Greg Bovino. Border Patrol Chief has been ousted from his role as Commander at Large and will return to El Centro. Oh, they sure picked a picture where he doesn't look very happy. Poor guy. Poor guy. Back to Munchkin Land with you. Gregory Bovino has been removed from his role as Border Patrol Commander at Large and will return to his former job in El Centro, California, where he is expected to retire soon, according to a DHS official and two people with knowledge of the change. Expected to retire soon? They're telling him to get off the face of the fucking map. He is taking the bullet for this one. Going down for the whole team. Man. I wonder if when he left they said, "Don't worry, comrade, we're still going to continue the white ethno-state that we dreamed of." Gregory Bovino has been removed from his role. Oh, yeah, read that. Bovino's sudden demotion is the clearest sign yet that the Trump administration is reconsidering its most aggressive tactics after the killing of Saturday of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by Border Patrol agents under Bovino's command. Wow, that is assuming a lot from this action, I think. That's my biggest concern, is that people are going to take this as a sign that they can relax. That is not what this is at all. Trump is so, I guess I would say we have been so trained by Trump and his people to look for any breath, any opportunity to take a breath, to get some normalcy back. And that's what this move is. Like, we're gonna reset and we're gonna be at the new normal again. It's the Carl Schmitt thing all over and over and over again. It's like, now, since I've read up on Carl Schmitt, I can't stop seeing it. It's just pressing the limits of what can be considered new normal over and over and over and over again. Little pushes. And like, by the time the next thing comes around, the past 3 weeks of insanity is going to seem like normal again. Like like this is worse than that one, and ramping up to worse than that one. We're gonna be like, oh, it's another Milwaukee. That's got me really worried. Really, really worried. Earlier today, oh, I'm gonna turn the music down a bit more. Earlier today, President Trump appeared to signal in a series of social media posts a tactical shift in the administration's mass deportation campaign. Trump wrote that he spoke with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, whom the White House has blamed for inciting violence. I can't get rid of this, huh? Okay. Well, I can get rid of it for you guys. Yeah, there. Yeah, White House is blamed for inciting violence, and the two men are now on a similar wavelength. Trump wrote that he spoke with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The two men are now on a similar wavelength. Tom Homan, the former ICE chief whom Trump has designated border czar, will head to Minnesota. Man, I can't read tonight. I can't do anything. Will head to Minnesota to assume command of the federal mobilization there, Trump said. Oh, good. This is much better. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and her close advisor Corey Lewandowski, who are Bovino's biggest backers at DHS, are also at risk of losing their jobs, two of the people told me. What people? What people? Two of the people. Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski? The two people you talked about in that sentence? What? But we're keeping it anonymous. For the past 7 months, Bovino has been the public face of a traveling immigration crackdown on cities governed by Democrats. Noem and other Trump officials gave Bovino the commander title and sent him and his masked border agents to Chicago, Charlotte, New Orleans, and then Minneapolis. Bovino became a MAGA social media star as he traveled the country with his own film crew and used social media to hit back at Democratic politicians and random critics online. Veteran ICE and CBP officials grew more and more uneasy as Bovino worked outside his agency's chain of command and appeared to relish his role as a political actor. Yeah, no shit. He was getting in on the action. That little boy was having the time of his life. Minnesota Department of Corrections releases new evidence showing DHS is publishing false arrest claims at scale. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. What? Where? Am I missing something? DHS providing false arrest claims justifying their presence in Minnesota. This source is credible, DHS is not. As soon as they were given target numbers for detainments, arrests, and deportations, it stopped being about immigration enforcement. Yep. Let's see. This is weird. Getting random upvotes on my old Constitutional Convention video. Huh. Still tiny. Okay, well there's a link. The link was not there on the page. Minnesota Department of Corrections releases new evidence showing DHS publishing false arrest claims at scale. The Minnesota Department of Corrections is releasing new evidence demonstrating that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security continues to publish false information in customs enforcement arrest claims, in press releases, and on their website by mischaracterizing routine custody transfers from Minnesota state prisons. DHS's worst of the worst website allows users to search by state and city for criminal illegal aliens that have been removed from their state. What is this? Department of Corrections quickly identified 68 cases in which individuals were lawfully transferred from Minnesota Department of Corrections custody directly to ICE, only for DHS officials to falsely claim these same individuals were arrested by waves of federal agents deployed in Minnesota communities. DHS is justifying an unprecedented federal deployment into Minnesota communities based on the demonstrably false narrative that Minnesota refuses to honor ICE detainers. Minnesota DOC honors ICE detainers and coordinates custody transfers every day. Those transfers are documented, scheduled, and verifiable. What's troubling is DHS is taking credit for arrests which are, in reality, state to federal handoffs occurring at prison facilities after individuals complete their state terms of imprisonment, as has been the long-standing practice. Okay. This is something. Oh boy. Let's just label where everyone is from. Wow.
Does the president believe the Second Amendment rights remain in effect even when protesting?
The president supports the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. Absolutely. There has been no greater supporter or defender of the right to bear arms than President Donald J. Trump. So while Americans have a constitutional right to bear arms, Americans do not have a constitutional right to impede lawful immigration enforcement operations. And any gun owner knows that when you are carrying a weapon, when you are bearing arms, and you are confronted by law enforcement, you are raising the assumption of risk and the risk of force being used against you. And that's unfortunately what took place on Saturday.
This is your fault.
Wait just a second. We have one.
White House backtracks initial claims about Alex Preddy. Whoa, really? They backtracked on something? White House backtracks initial claims about Alex Preddy after intense backlash. Widely circulated video of Preddy's killing by federal agents undercut earlier assertions of him being a gunman. White House officials sought to rapidly distance Donald Trump and top officials from their initial portrayals of the man fatally shot by federal officials in Minnesota as a gunman, as they faced a deepening backlash after the video footage was widely seen to undercut their assertions. The move came as Trump advisors appeared to realize that the caustic portrayals of the man, Alex Preddy, who was reportedly licensed to carry a gun, had turned the killing into an even larger political liability for the president. Over the weekend, senior administration officials, including Stephen Miller, the deputy chief of staff, called the victim a domestic terrorist who tried to assassinate law enforcement, while Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, accused him of perpetrating the definition of domestic terrorism. Monstrous. The characterizations were undercut by video footage that showed Preddy was shot in the back roughly 10 times. Oh my god. I thought it was like half that. After being tackled to the ground by a group of U.S. Border Patrol agents whom he had been filming and disarmed of his gun. At a briefing on Monday, Carolyn Levitt, the White House press secretary, sidestepped questions about the remarks against Preddy and insisted the administration would not comment pending the outcome of multiple investigations into the shooting. I have not heard the president characterize Mr. Preddy in that way, Levitt said. Wow, Levitt. Wow. Wow. However, I have heard the president say he wants to let the facts and the investigation lead itself. So not really backtracking. Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, separately tried to backpedal on behalf of the administration, telling Fox News, I don't think anybody thinks that they were comparing what happened on Saturday to the legal definition of domestic terrorism. Whoa, that is so cowardly. Little Pound Cakes, hello. How are you doing this evening? It's a quiet night on stream, is what it is. Aliana popped in and said, be right back, and doesn't seem to be back yet. I'm not feeling super hot tonight, so I'm not going to be doing this for a very long time. Yeah, trying to live the dream. Aren't we all trying to? And by the dream, just mean like no scary shit happening. None of this scary shit has to be happening. That's what's really upsetting. Like, life could be normal right now. Just a different election. Hope you feel better. Saw you've had a couple busy nights. Yeah. I tried to get some good rest last night, and it didn't really do enough for me. Sonia, are you okay? Are you alright? Huh. How did you handle the weekend? Because I think part of it is just that I'm exhausted from this weekend. And the part I really hate is they're trying to like cool things off now. Like, I'm glad that I hope it leads to less violence, but I don't want people to get complacent and feel like this is like maybe people overreacted is my concern. Is that's what people are gonna think. Where was I on this? The evolving positions at the White House were notable for how quickly they were changing and how reactive the administration was to a sudden free fall in support of ICE and U.S. Border Patrol tactics across Washington, most notably among Republicans on Capitol Hill. Trump also appeared to seek an off-ramp of his own following earlier posts on Truth Social blaming Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor, and Democrats for Preddy's death, including one Truth Social post that suggested Preddy had intended to use his gun against federal agents. Went to a protest on downtown Long Beach on Sunday. It was calm. 200 plus, I think. Wow. Good job, little Pound Cakes. Way to go. Way to get involved. I was going to ask you something. Okay. Oh, I was just going to say, comply or die was my sign. Yeah. Like, that's really what they said, isn't it? I'm trying to remember what was, like, was it Bovino who was saying, like, you're going to get, like, more of this? Like, if you keep getting in the way, you're going to get more of this. Trump also appeared to seek an off-ramp of his own. Trump also appeared to seek an off-ramp of his own following earlier posts on Truth Social blaming Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor, and Democrats for Preddy's death, including one Truth Social post that suggested Preddy had intended to use his gun against federal agents. In a new announcement on Monday, Trump said he had a very good call with Walz and that they were on the same wavelength about how to proceed with immigration enforcement in the state. Is it going to include handing over the voter rolls? I sure hope not. Walz's office said in a statement that Trump had agreed to look at pulling federal agents out of Minnesota and committed to ensuring state investigators could launch their own investigations instead of relying solely on internal inquiries by the Department of Homeland Security. So we're giving the impression that Trump is tacoing on Minnesota. People are just going to stop being upset. President agreed that he would talk to his Department of Homeland Security about ensuring the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is able to conduct an independent investigation, as would ordinarily be the case, it said. The president also agreed to look into reducing the number of federal agents in Minnesota and working with the state in a more coordinated fashion on immigration enforcement regarding violent criminals. Walz's push for a state investigation comes after the BCA complained over the weekend that they were blocked by federal agents to access the scene of the shooting and unable to gather evidence, even after they went back and obtained a court order to do so. Tom Homan replacing him. Kristi Noem still blaming it on Democrats. Okay. President Trump and Governor Tim Walz strike quid pro quo deal to allow state investigators. Yep. CNN's Tapper gives examples of Bovino's history of lying under oath. That's just an image. Oh, no.
Hold of the crisis there, and it is a crisis in so many ways.
I want to see them all.
The ways being, it's a credibility crisis for the administration because senior officials keep saying things
every member
that we can see with our own eyes are not true, making claims about people that they provide no evidence to back up. And one of the people I'm talking about here is Border Patrol Commander Greg
every single one.
A judge in November 2025 found to have been lying, and I posted something on social media about that. Quote, Bovino admitted in his deposition that he lied multiple times, wrote the judge. And Bovino, interestingly, wrote back to me on social media saying, then identify the lie, Jake. No one can seem to find this mysterious lie. And you all know that I am nothing if not helpful. And frankly, it's not all that mysterious. The judge wrote a 233-page opinion in which she wrote for sure. Many lies that she thought Bovino had told. Some of them include, quote, Bovino admitted in his deposition that he lied multiple times about the events that occurred in Little Village that prompted him to throw tear gas at protesters. Bovino had represented that a rock hit him in the helmet before he threw tear gas. On the first day of his deposition, he admitted that he was not hit with a rock until after he had sent the tear gas. He then said that the rock had almost hit him in a different instance. And then, quote, despite being presented with video evidence that did not show a rock thrown at him before he launched the first tear gas canister, Bovino nonetheless maintained his testimony. But on November 4th, the final session of his deposition, Bovino admitted that he was again mistaken. And no rock was thrown at him before he deployed the first tear gas canister. There's another instance that she writes about in her opinion having to do with a protester named Scott Blackburn. And Bovino was upset with something that Mr. Blackburn had said, and Bovino said, quote, what did you say? You want me to come over there? To which Blackburn shook his head and said no, but Bovino stepped over the guardrail, grabbed Blackburn by his right arm, tore his shirt, and then with another agent took Blackburn down. The agents zip-tied Blackburn and searched him. When asked about the incidents involving Blackburn in his deposition, Bovino stated, quote, no reportable uses of force occurred, and that instead, quote, the use of force was against him. I mean, the judge said, quote, the court specifically finds his testimony not credible, and said that his responses ranged from providing cute responses or outright lying. That's just the judge's opinion, November 2025, in which she clearly stated the instances. It's not a mystery. I hope that helps, Mr. Bovino.
Senator Chris Murphy alleges U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, Trump administration are creating mayhem to take over elections in swing states, including Minnesota ahead of 2026 midterms. I don't know how they think what happened in Minnesota is going. Yeah, right. That's very non-judicial language. Mr. Bovino was very cute with his responses. I don't know if chaos. I'm having a hard time thinking about, like, because I guess they're trying to get the voter rolls through the chaos. Because otherwise, if it's not the voter rolls, then I don't see how this helps them at all. And that sounds like something out of a workplace harassment training. Has a judge talked to you in this way? American Bar Association requests an investigation into the 2 recent ICE shootings. Well, no, well, good. Thank you, American Bar Association.
But we're certainly
Doctor who fought to treat Alex Preddy says Border Patrol moved his body to count wounds instead of doing CPR.
starting to hear from whistleblowers, and we encourage whistleblowers to come forward and tell the truth. If you read Alexei Navalny's book called Patriot, in his fight against tyranny and authoritarianism in Russia, he said the one thing that every democracy-loving citizen can do every day is to come forward and tell the truth. And that is the one thing that will lead to the crumbling and the erosion of authoritarianism.
I'm so sad about Navalny. That is a true tragedy of history. It's losing that guy. He may be entitled to compensation. Come see a judge. ICE accused of sexually torturing migrants at former World War II Camp Fort Bliss, among 80 plus reported violations. Is this where they are harassing and illegally holding Native Americans? Bovina says there are consequences and actions if you use or listen to derogatory language about law enforcement. God. Woman shot by Border Patrol in Chicago. This is the woman who was shot 5 times in her car. Yes. Yes, they are. Holy cow. When was she shot? I can't believe she's just out here walking around. She was shot 5 times. Ben Netanyahu 2025. Hi. What's up? That's some name. When did this happen? When was she shot? I think I'm gonna have to, oh. October 4th. Shot her 5 times. Later bragged, "Put that in your book, boys," in a text message. Holy shit. I mean, I think there can be aliases that are worth harping on. That seems like a particularly weird one. Hey, Dostork. How are you? Good morning. Several people have been shot by ICE. The ones who survived don't often get the same coverage as the ones who were killed. It's insane that this woman's story does not get more coverage. The woman who survived 5 gunshots from a Border Patrol agent in Chicago last fall, only to be criminally charged and then cleared, then to be criminally charged. Now wants a judge's permission to share evidence that shows how the feds respond when their agents use deadly force against U.S. citizens. Marimar Martinez's lawyer argued Monday that top Trump administration officials continue to smear her name and that the White House's false narrative about her arrest has even seeped into writings by U.S. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito. Wow. God. That's fucking awful. Wow. Oh, we're misaligned over here. Even the Supreme Court won't tell the truth about you. Even the Supreme Court won't tell people the truth about you. It is the Wild West out there in a sense, I guess. How could we go about dismantling the Patriot Act, though? With a constitutional convention, you're going to get the same answer out of me. Bit tired and cold, but you're all right. Yeah, it's been pretty cold over here. Canceled my kids' school again tomorrow for the ice day. It's 2 days in a row. Too much ice for Central Texas. I don't want to make any comparison to how much ice Minnesota's getting, but there's too much ice on the roads for Central Texas. Standard court order bars Martinez from sharing records in the case, such as body camera footage and electronic communications designed to protect against the improper disclosure of evidence. Attorney Chris Parente said the order has instead become a prophylactic to countering a pernicious misinformation campaign mounted by the United States. They are forcing the public and Supreme Court justices to have to rely solely on the government's inaccurate version of events, Parente wrote. This court has the power to shed light on the truth of what happened on October 4th. Even though charges were dropped against Martinez, she is described to this day on the Homeland Security website as a domestic terrorist. I seem to recall this this story being pretty egregious. Let's see. Yeah, but sometimes the public doesn't need the truth or else it could disturb them. Do you not think the public should be disturbed? What are you referencing? I mean, I think this weekend was a good example of when the public should be disturbed. Okay. Okay, it's just gonna... Wow. Can't get rid of that. This is the only bit of screen that I get. Thanks, CNN. That's kind of frustrating. Wow. Wow. Okay, I guess we're just gonna get rid of that. CNN, this is awful. Awful. The general strike was a huge deal. Yeah, they didn't want another one of those, huh? Who are the leaders, Ben Netanyahu? You say let the leaders lead. Who are you talking about? Das Stark says, I live in an unrenovated old building and I haven't put on the oven the last 2 days. But this evening I will. Also, the case you are showing is disturbing. The Marimar Martinez case? I mean, I don't think... CNN's not going to get into it too much, right? Right, Athena? I think Ben Netanyahu's trying to bait out here. Actions speak louder than words. So what are you saying that the people shouldn't know about the constitutional violations that the Trump administration is doing? Let the Trump administration do the constitutional violations? Cool, dude. Even with a federal indictment hanging over her, claiming she had been a threat to law enforcement, Marimar Martinez was confident she could eventually prove her innocence. After an extraordinary reversal by federal prosecutors, if it's a net positive for the country, I say why not? What is the positive? What positive is coming out of the constitutional violations? I don't know how constitutional violations let to slide could ever be a net positive. Yeah, he's not a serious person. Way to not be a serious person, Ben Netanyahu. So proud of you. After an extraordinary reversal by federal prosecutors in one of the most high-profile cases connected to Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago, a judge dismissed charges Thursday against Martinez, a United States citizen who was accused of ramming the vehicle of a Customs and Border Protection agent in Chicago before he shot her several times. Are you asking that about Ben Netanyahu? Unfortunately, winter break is over. We're probably getting an adult in here who can't handle their shit. I mean, I am not part of that leadership. I can't answer for them. People just need to get over the fact that these old rules don't fly anymore. No, Ben Netanyahu, people don't need to get over the Constitution not being allowed to defend people's rights. Weird how that is a common opinion out here. Why would we want to protect our rights anyway? I don't think worrying about the integrity of laws and institutions and so on is prudent when the left is the way it is. How is the left, Darwin fan? Oh boy. What is the left doing that is so concerning? Geez, any means necessary. That sounds like the promotion of violence, Darwin fan. Anti-white. Nope, the left isn't anti-white. Destroying America with mass immigration. You'd have a hard time pointing out the damage that immigration's doing. Trying to plunge America into left-wing anarcho-tyranny. Wow, you just don't like evidence or facts, huh? It's a hard one. Cut the internet out and the power. Finish the job. What do you mean finish the job, Ben Netanyahu? They are not anti-white. What are you feeling is anti-white that the left supports? What a joke. I can't tell you all the anti-white policies I support as a leftist. As a white leftist, oh boy. My political stances must be full of anti-white positions. Shot Osama bin Laden for less than what the left has done. Like what, Darwin fan? You got things to point to? No one's discriminating against white people. What are you talking about? Do what they need to do to fix that state from being blue every election. That is the literal only point of all this. Finish the job, Trump. So what if the majority of Minnesota is blue, Ben Netanyahu? What if the majority of of Minnesota wants to vote blue in 2026? What about the Hart-Celler Act? What? What? Do you not recall when many major Democrats came out against the Trump SCOTUS banning racial discrimination in college admissions? That's not what DEI is, bud. That isn't the definition of DEI. Let's test that theory once the job's done, then force. No, I don't have a theory. I'm just saying, what if? It's a hypothetical, Ben Netanyahu. What if the majority of Minnesota wants to vote blue in 2026? What are you referring to? Who's favoring people on the basis of race? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you have an example? Then there is the problem. So the problem is being allowed to think, like, vote how you want to vote. What do you suggest we do about that problem? What was Trump not allowing in college admissions? How did he do this? Was it an executive order? You want to point me to which executive order you're talking about? I think we continue leveraging Elon and X's power to sway the algorithm more right like has been, so we can win. So by any means necessary. So lie to the people to make them not vote the way they would otherwise vote. Yeah, it sure seems like the problem is that minorities vote. God forbid that we protect minorities. In 2023, the SCOTUS ruled against racial discrimination in college admissions. Okay, so what did Trump do? Okay, so you want to give him credit for everything that the Supreme Court justices did? Is that how we want to do it? It's not like two sports teams. That's not what this is. It's not a fucking game. What did the left do when tech was on their side? When was tech on their side? Yeah, these people have a problem with other people existing. That's true. Yep. They literally banned Trump from the platform. Who banned Trump from the platform? Who did that? You mean people who don't think? Like these assholes. Yarg, Maddie Holmes. Didn't get the notification. I started with, like, you got an extra notification. I started with an announcement and accidentally hit enter while I was typing, and so everybody got an announcement that wasn't an announcement. Yeah, like, willfully ignorant needs its own word now. No, I don't agree with it letting anybody be on whatever team they want to be and just letting them do as they will. I'm going to try to convince them that the shit that they hear is false. Your side believes way too much bullshit. So for any decision that the Trump justices were all on, you'd give him credit for that? That's pretty weird. What kind of bullshit? Like DEI is anti-white? Like Democrats are pro-life terminating abortion up until birth, that the left is generally pro, like, mutilating children's bodies at any age. Yes, racial discrimination, the means by which we solve old racism problems, targeting race as part of the solution, is somehow racist. Yeah. Incredible. I'm not gonna sit here and defend affirmative action, but it's really weird that y'all think that it's just like they did with the Voting Rights Act shit, like, or that they just did. I think they're still in the process of doing, where it's like you can't do any solutions that use race as part of the equation when the problem was racism. Yeah, being against racism is racist. No, most of the left doesn't defend affirmative action. They'll defend DEI, but not affirmative action. God forbid we try to right the ship that we tipped over. What other things that the insane right believes? I'm sure there are some people on the right that believe that the Alex Preddy was a violent individual. No matter how many rights we violate, Ben Netanyahu, who cares about the First Amendment or Second Amendment or Fourth Amendment or Fifth Amendment or Sixth Amendment or Eighth Amendment? Who cares about any of that? Yeah. Legacy admissions are racist. Ben Netanyahu, that's an unserious position. You're just an awful person. Way to go. Congratulations. Legacy admissions are DEI for white people. No, they're not DEI for white people. That's the opposite of what it is. It's what they think DEI is. This isn't sports, Ben Netanyahu. This is people being oppressed. Sports doesn't oppress anybody. That doesn't change the equation at all, Darwin fan. Then what is it? It's people's lives. It's whether or not people can enjoy having rights. That's nothing like sports. That's really dumb. The NFL does oppress Colin Kaepernick. That's true. This does not provide her story at all. Man, I can't find anything about the story of Marimar Martinez. But those admission numbers that get touted every year, does that actually include legacy admissions, or are they separated? It is interesting that this is your opinion, not that you get bankrupt by going to college in your country while needing this to do any advanced job. Robert Kraft better win the Super Bowl. Been a while since BB held the trophy. Okay. Just continue to be a non-serious person.
How's this separate?
So Ben Netanyahu, was the killing of Alex Preddy, I may have already asked this earlier, the killing of Alex Preddy was justified in your mind? You'd say unlucky. Was it justified though? Like dogs. Based on was it morally justified? Let's keep the law out of this. You tell me whether you think it's justified. Is it morally justified? I don't know what book you're talking about. Darwin fan, you're really in a tizzy about something that doesn't happen anymore. Oh, what you know, you're baiting me into a question. What are you talking about with the right of free association? Was it justified, Ben Netanyahu? Why do you keep running from this question? Darwin fan, don't be obtuse. You vaguely gestured at something, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Disparate impact laws would be an example of an infringement on that. How? No one deserves death. However, based on how it played out, that was the expected outcome 100% of the time. No, it was not. No, it was not. Not the expected outcome 100% of the time. If you're talking about specifically with ICE, okay. But do you approve of what ICE did? Okay. So you are in favor of allowing people to be racist in terms of employment. Yeah, his gun didn't go off, but I'm... So you would be fine if Alex Preddy happened every day in Minnesota? How so, Darwin fan? I'm asking you, if it happened every day, would you approve of it? He's calling ice dogs, Maddie. Yeah, that's not natural selection. Tell me you don't understand science without telling me you don't understand science. Because even if you don't racially discriminate at all, if you hire people of different racial backgrounds in different proportions, this could cause legal... No, it can't. No, it can't. Laws are concerned with disparate impact, not whether a business hires people. Can you give me an example of a case where a business was sued for disparate impact? Would you approve of an Alex Preddy happening every day in Minnesota? Stop being a coward. He didn't even mess with them, dude. Other than recording them? Recording them was the problem? While exercising his rights? You know the fun thing? They're not dogs, they're human beings, so we can judge their judgment. If a human being bites another being, you know what we do to them? It's not the same thing we do to dogs. So do you approve of an Alex Preddy happening every day in Minnesota? Would you still support ICE activities in Minnesota? Yeah, this is weird. ICE is a dog and undocumented immigrants are dog food? So violating their rights sustains ICE?
Probe working. Have you?
A Fetterman under fire sees his own wife turn on him? This is weirdly written headline. So telling that he became a conservative after sustaining a head injury. And over 90% of the undocumented immigrants they pick up don't have a criminal record. Ben Netanyahu, stop being a coward.
You received even the most basic information, like the names of the
Own your
federal
monstrous
agents who
shit,
shot
Ben
Preddy?
Netanyahu.
We have
I will
not,
say to both
and
the
I want
user
to
in
go
my
back
chat
and make
and
a
the real
correction
Ben Netanyahu.
from what was said previously, that it was the crowd that prevented our state BCA from entering the scene. I had a staff member on the ground. I was working with the BCA, talking to them all day. You see BCA agents there. But what happened at the scene was that the federal agents stood about 2 feet apart with large batons, and they physically prevented the BCA from entering the scene. That is the truth. And we helped the BCA get a warrant.
Netanyahu,
They
answer the
drafted
question, or I'm
We
just
got
going
a
to ban
judge
you
available
outright.
to sign it so that they could have a warrant
No,
signed
you
by a
really haven't
judge
made your
to
statement
enter
clear.
that
Would
scene
you
to do the
support ICE if
processing
an
that
Alex
they would
Preddy
do in
happened
this
every
type of
day?
case. DHS prevented them from even entering the scene with a lawfully signed by a judge warrant. So any suggestion that it was the crowd that kept out the BCA is not true. It was the federal government that kept them out.
And President.
I'll do a ban for cowardice.
This is
I
the
won't feel
third
bad.
Anthony.
shooting now in less than 3 weeks. The Minneapolis Police Department went the entire year last year recovering about 900 guns from the street, arresting hundreds and hundreds of violent offenders, and we didn't
The
shoot
right
anyone.
would say policing that same area without a shooting for a whole year would be a failure of law enforcement. Doing as they are trained, even if they are trained that way, doesn't make it okay. So, remind me what it is that you would make you support killing an Alex Preddy every day, an ICU nurse who did not touch the law enforcement agent or the agent of the federal government until they were putting their hands on him, shot dead 10 times. They're shot 10 times to death in the back, unarmed, hands on the ground, for using his constitutional rights. What is the reason, again, why you would support that happening every day? He didn't put his hand in a dog's mouth. Yeah, I don't know what that metaphor fucking means, but I don't think that's accurate. He didn't draw his gun. They took it out of the back of his waistband. Took his gun, carried it away, shot him 10 times. A public execution. Ben Netanyahu thinks the executive branch should be allowed to be the judge, jury, and executioner. Why? You're not letting the law decide, dude. You don't believe in letting the law decide. The law is written and they are violating rights. Can you provide the case caption, Darwin fan? Or an article? Oh yeah, not just not getting him help, denying him medical aid. I don't know why you think there will be a review on the matter. But the law is already written. You're just a coward. The Constitution, dumbass. The thing you said doesn't hold in this case. The fact in all these cases they're just flat out denying medical care. Yep. Denying the medical care. It's just murders. Ben was Alex Pretty murdered? Dude, so you're saying that violating the Constitution is a net positive? How can violating the Constitution and allowing that to slide ever be a net positive? You know that violates your rights, right? It fails on a utilitarian level. Ben doesn't want to protect his own rights. Yeah, I would, Ben Netanyahu. That's insane. This is one of those insane things that your side believes. You think the left is pro-violence against the right. They're not. They're constantly trying to benefit the right by benefiting everyone. They aren't pro-violence against the right. What the fuck are you talking about? Ben Netanyahu, this isn't sports. This is people's rights being violated. Every time your side violates the other side's rights, they're violating yours too. You have the same rights that the left does. And when you violate the left's rights, you also violate the right's rights. What the fuck? How is that pro-violence? What? They think if left-wing mobs chase you down the street and attack you and you kill them in self-defense, the government should put you in prison for murder. What? When we went crazy over Teslas? What are you talking about? I don't support people buying a Tesla. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You mean when people were vandalizing Teslas? They don't want left-wing mobs to be able to brutalize you with impunity. Did Kyle Rittenhouse kill a person? I don't see how any of these cases are comparable. Were those people not allowed to practice defense? Defense of others is just as supportable as self-defense? It's not a sports game, dude. It's not. You should be mad every time the rules are bent. You should be mad every time. He shot a person dead, Darwin, and then people were trying to neutralize a person with a gun. Kyle Rittenhouse killed 3 people. Oh, fuck. Yeah. No, that's not happening, Darwin. Bye. That's fucked. That's fucked up. Yeah, Ben, you're also you're also gone. This is a really fucked up position. You support killing leftists. That's fucked. Bye. I was going to ban him way back in that conversation. I was just trying to get him to own his position. Yeah. He said it earlier. He's fine with people being killed if it means that the right wins the election. That's fucked. Man. All right, I said I was going to keep this one tonight short because I'm not feeling great. I think I'm at a point where I'm ready to call it. I need some rest. It's too much of a weekend. All right, guys, I'm Know Nothing Attorney. I know nothing, so you can too. Because it's only in embracing that we know nothing that we can actually learn anything. And as always, I'm proud of you. I don't need to know you personally for that to be real. It's true and you deserve to hear it. If only because life is hard, it's always been hard, and always will be hard. But the way you face every single day the way you do is remarkable. So stay remarkable, and I'll see y'all next time. I know this is like extremist, but these people make me rethink re-education camps. just a education camp. Good night, y'all. Rest well. Das Stork, have a good day at work. Bye, y'all.